I am researching memory at the Department of Psychology with Dr. Jon Simons as the principal investigator. And I just started my PhD in October, so I'm still fairly new around here. So in my PhD project, I will be looking at memory changes in healthy aging, and then also at trying to detect early memory decline that is indicative of future pathological changes such as an Alzheimer's disease. And our lab has previously come up with a paradigm that is fairly sensitive to detecting some age-related changes in memory that general neuropsychological measures have not been able to pick out. So we will now try to use this paradigm to see whether we can actually employ it as a more sensitive measurement tool to detect early changes in memory fairly early on, so that interventions can be targeted at people at an earlier stage and then be more effective, hopefully. Yeah, I'm absolutely happy to have chosen Pembroke. It's been a wonderful experience. I already really enjoyed it when I spent some time here as a master's student, working in the same lab as well. It's a very vibrant community, and I'm very happy that there's so many very dedicated people who really put a lot of effort into making this feel like a second home. People are very welcoming and open, so I'm very happy I've chosen this college. And my experience in Cambridge so far has been fantastic as well. I really couldn't have hoped for a better place to study, I guess. I feel like I will be very spoiled later on when I leave this bubble, because there are just so many fascinating people and inspiring conversations that I've had so far. Well, at my lab, I've had a wonderful experience in terms of, women in science. My PI, so the principal investigator, is very supportive of everyone in the lab. We actually have a majority of female PhD students and postdocs, so the female presence in our field is very strong. So that's a fantastic experience so far. However, I have experienced some other situations where I was quite surprised that there was still an imbalance between men and women. For example, I went to a conference before where only male keynote speakers were invited, and there were lots of women present at the conference, but none of them were invited to give a keynote speech, really. And interestingly, my PI, so again, principal investigator, there was an associate professor who had worked with me for a while, and she was very upset by this, obviously, and so were a lot of other women in the field. And they published a response to this lineup of speakers that was saying, well, looking at the statistics out there in terms of publications and impact factor journals for female and male researchers, that really doesn't warrant this sort of dichotomy between the genders. And we also really supported to get the ideas of this paper out there at the conference. We spoke to a lot of people, got positive responses, and by raising awareness at the next conference, suddenly the gender balance was really perfect, 50-50. So it is definitely possible to improve the gender balance out there in science. One just needs to realize the problem and do something about it.